Okay, ready? Are you recording?
3, 2, 1, now.
Say something.
Hello, and welcome to today's podcast, Dead by Podcast. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening,
Good everything.
And welcome to part
Dead by
4
part 4 of the Dead by
Podcast. Oh, it would have been good if we could have harmonied that. If I go,
Whoa! That's horrible. Yeah. So a lot has. Wait, hang on a minute. First off, we should acknowledge the fact that we're not in the same room.
well,
For the first
obviously,
time, we're now in tier 4, so that's fun. There you go. That's instantly dated this podcast. But there you go, tier 4.
yeah, we shouldn't really do that. Well, we should, because then it will push us to do more. We're going to do as many as we can.
To be fair, like, not a lot of people are going to be like, oh, I want to talk about the Blight, because, you know.
Blight's a great killer.
No.
Until they... I don't know if they announced anything, because I don't tend to look at all the bug fixes and
me neither.
patch notes and stuff. They just happen, because there's so many. Speaking of...
Yo.
Have you seen how many bug fixes there's been for the latest patch notes? 4.4.2.
Hold up.
Take a guess at how many bug fixes there are. And
three or four.
Now think about the fact that to fix a bug, there has to be one to begin with. I counted 36
oh my
bug
god.
fixes in the last patch note.
I didn't know this. I totally missed this. I was out of the loop for about a month. I just wasn't playing DBD, and I completely missed that this happened.
I mean, how... Yeah, I haven't done it for a while either. But I just looked at it and I thought, that's just mental. How can they do that many? Are there that many bugs to begin with?
Yeah, that's a lot of bugs.
But at least they're fixing them.
Yeah, a lot of this is related to stuff they changed recently, like adding in the twins and
oh yeah, a lot of them are
Felix
to do with Charlotte and Victor. A lot of them,
which was an absolute mess at launch. Actually, let's. So the first segment today, we're going to be talking about the twins. So let's jump right into that. So today we're going to talk about the twins. We're going to talk about the changes to Moris that happened recently. We're going to talk about the upcoming reworks, and then we're going to play. Name That Perk. That was the name of the game, which we didn't do in the last one. But a lot of stuff has changed in the last one, such as, was it just been 2 killers or has it been 3 killers? It's just the 2, isn't it? Yeah, just Blight and twins.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this year they started with Pyramid Head, didn't they? And then they went to the Blight and then twins. But yeah, since we've done it, yeah, we haven't missed a killer.
No, I don't want to talk about Blight because we already did that, and I think Blight sucks. But do you want to talk about twins? What do you think about the twins?
I don't think they're as good as the Blight.
Right, see, that's where you're objectively wrong, straight away. Right from the get-go, you're wrong.
Right.
Go on, why don't you like the twins?
I don't like... No, I didn't say I didn't like the twins. Don't put words in my mouth.
You literally just said, I despise the twins. I think they're the worst killer ever added to Dead by Daylight.
Right. Who are the twins?
Victor and Charlotte.
What's Dead by Daylight?
A video game created by Behavior Interactive.
So you can't prove it.
What?
It's not as if this is recorded or anything.
You can't just go back. You can't just go back and check. Exactly. Never happened.
And who's there to prove the proof? I mean, you could have just recorded that with a Jack voice.
Who's editing this video?
Who's
editing this video?
Well, I mean, I know you wanted to have a
Didn't
go
think of that one.
The last of them. And all of your YouTube videos thus far.
Well,
you wanted to give this one a go. So, excuse all the shoddy editing. Pebsie's doing it this time. So,
yeah, you edited the last podcast we did, but there was just no editing because we lost the footage. Or I lost the footage.
There we go.
No, we lost the footage.
Anyway, back to what we're doing. Well, yeah, I was going to say we haven't done this podcast for a while because of COVID. We've not been able to meet. Plus, we had personal things to get on with. For example, me moving house. That's taken the last 4 weeks. We still got boxes in the dining room.
Yeah, and becoming a world famous rock star. I still feel like I can't talk about that. Sometimes I'll talk about it on stream and I'll be like, oh no, I can't say that. And I'm like, oh no, wait, yeah, I can say that.
You can say that, but I don't like talking about it because I don't want to be one of those big-headed people.
You have got a big head though, to be fair.
I do. Yeah,
Massive
I've
forehead. Eaten
a lot over.
Oh god,
and it's all gone to my face.
in the last week over Christmas, I so Christmas Eve, Christmas night, and Boxing Day, I went to bed in pain because I'd eaten too much.
Yeah, but if you haven't done that, then you haven't had a good Christmas.
That's true. That's true. Let's talk about the twins. Why don't you like the twins? What do you dislike about them?
Again, I didn't say that.
You said
what
you hated
I said
them.
was...
You said you hated them. What do you dislike about the twins? That you hate them.
That
what do you dislike about
the Blight? That's what I said.
Right. So you think just to be just so we can get this clear, you think that a killer that separates into two killers has like an extremely unique ability is less interesting than Runny Go Fast Man?
Again, I didn't use the word interesting.
Okay, go on.
I think, and I haven't looked at the stats, but I can say safely now that the Blight has a high kill ratio to the twins.
Right, but
there we go. Silence.
Yeah, but
oh my god.
You're judging a killer based on how good it
speechless.
But you're judging a killer based on how good it is rather than how interesting the mechanics are, that doesn't seem right to me because those things can be balanced and changed.
Because
I mean by that rate, yeah.
Then yeah, that's fine. But if they're not good, then you can't have fun. You don't have fun with things that you keep losing using.
I'm not sure I agree with that.
Right, okay. So, why don't you like the Blight? He's fun. He runs really fast. You bump into something and you can sprint at someone, scaring the crap out of them if you catch them off guard.
I don't find him fun.
What's not fun about that?
I don't find him fun. I really don't.
Did
you see the clip I put on Twitter this morning?
Of you playing?
Me playing Blight. Go on my Twitter. Go on my Twitter right now. Go on my Twitter. Look at the last thing I posted. I don't like. I try to avoid swearing on stream.
I'd just like to. If I can just quickly unmute my desktop audio and play this clip. Just listen. You don't need to see it. In fact, Pebsie, put it in here.
Yeah.
Just this bit. You'll see what I mean when you see me.
Okay.
In this little section. Okay. Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Fuck this killer. Fuck this killer. Fuck this killer. Fuck this killer. Can't be fucked with this killer. Holy shit. Holy shit.
So that's what happened.
What? Let me explain. Let me explain what was going on in that clip, right? I was
You're
playing...
rank 14. First of all. And you rage quit.
Let me explain what happened, right? So, to be clear, actually, I'm more like rank 11 at Killer. So,
right, but it said rank 14.
Yeah, so. Well, that's because I haven't played Killer in a while. I was doing Survivor challenges, and I ran out of interesting Survivor challenges, so I switched to Killer. And
what you have to do?
Yeah.
Oh, you did the Blight one.
No, I didn't. I thought I selected the Blight one, but I didn't. I had one where I had to hook 5 survivors, and I was like, okay, well I can do that as Blight. But no, Blight. This Blight is terrible. Blight sucks. Blight is bad. I hate Blight. All my homies hate Blight.
Blight's one of my. I was saying anyway. Blight is one of my favorite killers, and the only thing, and I think I'm guessing this, but I'm pretty sure it's true because I don't read the patch notes, is that they've changed his collision, and he slides off a few things a lot more than he used to. You'd run to something and he'd sometimes just slide off. It was really weird.
Right.
I'm pretty sure they've done something to do it because it suddenly changed just like that, and he's a lot less fun now to play.
So in that game, I hit a tree or something that absolutely, in my opinion, should have been a collision, and it didn't count as a slam.
Yeah, there we go. That's exactly what I mean. Yeah, whereas it would have done before. I'm 100% sure, without proof. I feel 100% certain that they've changed his the way he collides with stuff.
Right, but not put it in patch notes.
Well, I don't know because I don't usually read them.
They haven't. As far as I'm aware, and I read them like a hawk pretty much because it makes for good content. They haven't.
Yeah, but a hawk wouldn't know what it's reading. It's a bird. Nice.
Anyway, I don't like
Good
the Blight,
rebuttal.
but the Twins. And bear in mind, I am a Survivor main. I'm purely talking about what's interesting to play against and what, in my mind, on paper is interesting to play as, because I don't really play killer. The Twins look really cool to me.
The idea for them is great. Even
exactly. There's
some
a
of
lot,
the perks.
but I was. Do you remember? I was annoyed at the Blight in the other podcast. I was annoyed because I was like, well, there's just nothing creative about the Blight. It's just runny, go fast, man. Whereas the Twins is like, oh, do this. Oh, we could try this. Or can we modify the engine to allow this to happen? And it's like, yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah,
it's a scary killer to play against.
Stuff.
It's simultaneously like a stealth killer and not a stealth killer as well, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah, because don't they have an undetectable status for a couple of seconds when they switch?
I'm more meant because Victor doesn't have a terror radius.
He doesn't have a terror radius even when he's running?
Nope. But he does go...
Oh, I didn't know that. I'll tell you why I didn't know that. Because no one plays the Twins.
It's true.
I've gone up against 2 people who have decided to choose. They've chosen the Twins to use. Okay, the first time, I didn't even get in a chase. We just escaped. The second time, they were AFK for the whole game.
You know what? I hadn't even considered that, but you're right. It's actually been weeks since I played against the Twins.
I've never played against the Twins. I mean, but yeah, fair enough. I've had like a proper 3-week break from the game. But... I played quite a few games, and you expect to come across.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
New killer. You expect to come across the new killer, the brand new killer, the exciting new killer that's bringing new things to the game, and no one's actually. I've never had a game against one. That's why I had no idea that they didn't have a terror radius.
It is weird because, like, I remember when the trailer came out, it felt like the least special trailer ever. They just kind of dropped it out of nowhere.
I said that about the Blight though.
Yeah.
The PTB, they're just like, oh yeah, we've got a new killer.
I guess the thing is that the 5th anniversary, can you believe the 5th anniversary is coming up? Is it? Or is it in August? No, it's not coming up. That'd be in August.
It's not. It's a while off. Because remember, Pyramid Head was with the... I think that's why I expected all the killers now to have a massive reveal. Which I think they should. They put so much effort into every killer that they do that they should unveil it during a stream. And then everyone would go on the stream and watch it like they did with Pyramid Head. I remember streaming the stream of Pyramid Head.
That was a big deal. It felt like a big deal because we knew it was
going to be
licensed.
Yeah. And they were just like, oh, now we're going to unveil the new killer. They're like, oh, I remember watching it. Go, oh, yeah, this just in. We can now show you the trailer for the new killer. And they played it. And I was amazed. I loved it. I should have actually done a reaction video from it, but I didn't. But I should have. It was brilliant. And then when the Blight came along, I was just like, oh, it's a new killer. So, oh. Yeah. Right, well, where's the big unveiling of all the effort you've put in?
Yeah. Which is weird because like both of the Blight and the Twins have really decent animated CGI trailers that they just didn't show until after the update come out, which is really weird. Unless maybe they ran out of time. I mean, the other thing to bear in mind, what is a big difference between Pyramid Head and Twins and the Blight, and it's that at no point will the teams that worked on Twins and the teams that worked on the Blight have actually been face-to-face in an office together, whereas they might have been, and probably were for Pyramid Head. I imagine they spent a lot of time working on Pyramid Head. Because it's a big license.
Yeah, I reckon they would do for the licensing.
See, I wonder whether or not sometimes they come up with killers and like concepts for killers and program it into the game before they've even guaranteed they've got the license, just so they can be like, look, see, this is how it will look in the game. That's an interesting theory, actually.
I really like the idea of the Twins. I think the idea is fantastic. But again, the execution. And we mentioned time a few times. And I think that's the issue with this killer, is they rushed it. It's the only killer that... Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because
based on the fact that how many bugs are there?
Oh, it does it. I mean, the perks didn't even work. The perks didn't even work.
Yeah. Like, it's massively rushed. I feel as though they should say, look, we put together this killer. People will be disappointed because people love moaning about anything. They'll say, classic devs. No, if you need more time, take it to make a better killer. Take an extra month. You know, just don't rush it.
Yeah.
I just don't think... I don't think they were able to make their deadline this time around, which makes sense because it's like there's 2 killers in one. This must have been the most difficult killer to create.
And engine changes too. That's the other thing, is that never before have we had a killer that can basically split. I have no idea how they pulled it off within the current engine, unless they completely reworked certain parts of it. But you know, from like a development standpoint, it's got to be one of the killers that's taken the longest amount of time to actually do. One of the hardest technical challenges, at least.
Mm. Well, there was that theory, wasn't there, that when they showed the teaser trailer for this, that it was a killer that could jump, like go on ceilings and on walls and then jump from them.
That would have been so cool.
But then they said that would have meant that they would have had to completely redo everything in the game in order to make certain walls like jumpable. And
yeah, plus that wouldn't really work on maps that are open.
Well, that's the thing. They'd have to include different things. But
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, this could be a step towards it, seeing as you can jump through windows. You can jump over pallets.
It's true.
You can't do that with any other killer.
But if you think of it from like a collision standpoint, the Huntress can throw hatchets through windows and over pallets. That's always been a thing that's doable. Like, those are just collisions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so. But this is a case of jumping. And if you go on top of a massive building or like through a window or whatever, quite high up, you jump so far as Victor. Like, it's a massive jump.
It's big.
Which is great. I think it's such a great idea. So maybe we are going to go into the territory of, maybe something that can climb on walls or on ceilings or, something like that. That would be amazing.
That would be really cool. That'd be really, really cool. I'd love to see that.
Because they need to bring the fear back into it. And I feel as though they did a tiny bit with Victor. I noticed I haven't mentioned Charlotte because Charlotte's not even the killer. I mean, she's just an M1, a slow M1.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah.
It's that Victor's the real killer, but Charlotte's Charlotte's only there because Victor's not strong enough to pick him up and put him on the hook. Yeah.
So obviously, So we're saying that like, creatively the twins are really, really cool, but like, no one's playing them. What do you think they could change about them to make them more played?
I was thinking about this before we came on, and I just thought. When I look at that, I think, why wouldn't I play it? Why aren't they good? Why aren't they strong? Why can't you win as them? That's the way I look at it, because I'm very competitive. I need to have some sort of good. I put loads of effort into this, and I won this game. I wouldn't ever rub it in other people's faces, unlike some toxic people.
Yeah.
But I want to win the game. That's the whole point for me, and that's why I play ranked. Anyway.
You lose!
You say that, but remember the time that you and I went against each other and I found the hatch? Anyway.
Yeah, okay.
You do remember that because I posted it on YouTube. And you commented as well saying GG easy. Which I
almost won. I almost won though.
You did almost win, yeah, and I almost lost. So if you want to look at it like that.
Hey, do you remember that video on my YouTube channel where I click flashlights at you for like 200 times?
Yeah, but that was when I was first playing, I think, on PC as the Huntress. Anyway. Back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Go on.
Yeah, I feel as though Victor's too easy to kick. I think that to reward the killer, if you get someone down with Victor with a pounce, either the survivors can't kick you from your recovery from that, or you get a shorter recovery where they can kick you, or the recovery's still there or for like a double amount of time, so it gives them a chance to run away or hide. But I think you should be rewarded for getting someone, because basically what will happen is, or what could happen is, you've got a survivor friends. Let's just go over the top and say you've got the 4 survivors all in one place together. Because they're on comms, they're talking to each other. They know that they're against Victor. So what they'll do is Charlotte will be somewhere across the other side of the map. They'll chase Victor away from Charlotte. Okay. What will happen is there will always be a survivor, if not the other 3, around the other one that's injured. Victor will pounce and hit someone. The other one will kick it, and then all group heal on that person so that they're back to full health before Charlotte can get back.
Right. Okay.
That's why I don't think. And let's face it, all you need is another survivor, a teammate next to someone. You don't need all 3 to pick them back up in time, because it takes forever for Charlotte to get across.
Yeah, no, it's very
forever.
That's very true. Like,
and I think that's a reason.
So
why
I've not got any suggestion in that regard, to be honest, because as cool as I think the mechanics are, I think they are centrally flawed. I mean, can Victor pull people out of lockers? Yeah, I know that's something they were working on. They wanted to do animation for it first.
No, they've done that. That's fine, and I think it works really well. What happens
I don't know if they're changing it again though.
Oh, well, what they do at the moment, which I think works really well, of course they're changing it because it works well, is that Victor can jump on the side of the locker.
Right.
And hold it shut with someone in it. Because he basically opens one side, really cool. Sees that there's someone in it, then shuts it and hangs on the side, and then stays there for a certain amount of time. And I believe the person inside can struggle, and then once the bar is filled, then I believe Victor gets squashed from it or whatever.
Okay, no. I think they are keeping it like that. My bad.
Okay, good. But then if Charlotte can get there in time, and I believe someone else can also get Victor off.
Right, that makes sense.
Off the thing. But then if Charlotte comes in time, then she can open it. Which I think is a really good idea. I think.
Yeah, no, I like that. I mean, that was one of the big issues originally. Is well, if Victor's there, you just jump in a locker and there's nothing he can do.
Yeah, there's nothing he can do. Yeah, that's the thing.
But that's a good fix. I like that. That's mechanically interesting. It's another method of teamwork, and yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Of course, the issue there again is if you're against a good chaser, and someone takes you to the other side of the map to where Charlotte is, then Charlotte's got no hope of getting there in time to get the locker.
Well, that's...
So, it's the same issue, isn't it, that we've had before.
Remember that you can down people with Victor. I think when you pounce, you should maybe have the option between jumping on their head or just injuring them. I don't know how they do that. Maybe two different modes, like a treatment mode and therapy mode, like on Old Doctor.
That's a good idea.
But just like, I want to injure this person, or no, I want to jump on their head because we're near enough to Charlotte that Charlotte can get there in time and knock them down.
Of course, the issue there is that they'd injure them and then turn around and kick him. I mean, so you'd have to get rid of the kicking.
That's true. But then I'm just thinking about the depth that this killer has with the animations, with kicking, the fact that as a survivor you can go into third person mode when you go in third person mode when he's on your head, right? Is that right? Maybe not. As a survivor, if he jumps on your head, do you go into third person mode? I can't remember.
You're already on third person mode as survivor.
Oh yeah, never mind.
But no, what happens is you get into third person for a split second as Victor when you jump
as
on
Victor.
someone.
That's what I meant. Sorry, yeah. Like the depth, the mechanical depth the killer has.
Bringing new mechanics into it, which is great. Which makes me think this is almost a trial and error run for when we do hit August or whenever it is. It's not August, is it? It's before that.
August is the 4th anniversary, but I think we'll have the next killer in March.
But what I mean is, when it hits the next anniversary, I reckon they're going to come out with some massive killer that's like changes everything. I think they have to if they want to keep this game alive, because there's so many people I know now that are sick of playing it.
Alien,
Alien, incredible.
Alien, a space map. Jason, come on.
Jason will be boring though. What can you do as Jason?
If Jason ever entered the game, it would be as a legendary Trapper skin. Because Trapper is based off Jason.
Yeah, that's a shout. Exactly. I was thinking there's nothing else you can do. I really want Pennywise.
And
then you have little balloons floating about.
But then there's no drive for that right now because it's kind of a. Then again, we did get the Stranger Things one in between Stranger Things seasons, so that's a good point.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
I'm trying to think what other IPs haven't they touched yet? They haven't got Predator. Then I guess that's Wraith.
They've got Wraith, yeah.
Annabelle. I don't know. Chucky.
Jesus, that'd be tiny. That would be Victor.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, the joke has always been like for the last 2.5 years that I've been playing the game. The joke on the Reddit has always been like, the subreddit, sorry. Yeah, Chucky would be great, but he couldn't reach the hooks.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well,
if they were going to do Chucky, it would have been the last film. Yeah, that's true. That'd be funny.
I don't know, but I don't care if they bring in, whatever the girl's name is in The Grudge. It's like the Spirit, yeah. Or you could bring in the Ring Girl, and it could be like Spirit. But if they have different abilities, then it shouldn't matter.
I just want Alien. I want Alien. I want a space map. I want to have Freddy in space.
Freddy in space. That would be really good to do a space map.
But a space map based on because you got. I mean, it's not that far out of like Asylum or something. Like it's similarly design wise, or Hawkins as an underground sci-fi lab. No reason why they couldn't do a space map. Really nice chance for some good art direction there. And Alien, imagine this, right? Imagine they add little walkways that are essentially like vents, big enough for one or maybe two people to fit past each other, but longer corridors like that. Big corridors connecting everything, and then little small hidden corridors that connect all the rooms that you have to crouch through. How sick would that be? You could climb in one of the corridors.
do you know what would be amazing for the killer?
Vent, sorry.
For Alien.
Yeah.
Is that when it's in a vent, it moves at double the speed.
Oh, that'd be great. I suppose the issue is that wouldn't fit with any of the other killers.
No, it wouldn't. But then at the same time, you could do a similar thing with the ring, where she can teleport between TVs. Yes, it's done. It's been done with teleport in, especially with demo. But
I suppose, yeah. But I suppose the thing about teleporting TVs,
map,
they would need to spawn randomly on the map like pig traps do.
Yeah.
Maybe you can switch as the killer. You can switch on TVs, and survivors can switch them off.
Yeah, you could. You might even be able to look through the TVs, so you can watch as like CCTV cameras.
Oh man! And when you're looking through the TV, survivors see your face in the TV screen.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be terrifying. Or it just sort of flickers. That'd be awesome. Okay, I want that. I don't want Alien anymore. I want that.
I think what you should be able to do as a survivor is turn them off, but you have to succeed in a great skill check.
Yeah.
If you don't hit a great skill check, like with what's that doctor perk? Overcharge. Is it called overcharge?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so something really difficult like that. And if you don't hit it, then the killer gets notified and you get an electric shock or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe, I don't know, you get an electric shock and then you can't, I don't know, you're hindered or whatever.
Crawls along the ground. You've got a stealth killer. And make sure she has no terror radius. Even in chases, no terror radius.
But you can hear her like noises like you can with Victor.
Exactly. Because like Ghostface is the only killer that really you can persistently have chases with, or consistently rather have chases with, where he doesn't have a terror radius. But he also doesn't have any noises, so it's really hard to hear him.
He kind of does. He has the cloak.
He has the cloak, yeah, but it's very subtle. You can't like get any directional information with that. Whereas with her, I suppose it'd be and that's how you'd know the direction she's in, right?
It'd be so good.
And she could crawl through windows maybe at survivor speeds as well, but can't swipe while doing it. I don't know. Something like that.
I think if she comes through the TVs, she should be able. She should have to crawl through, and it would mean that it's like 5 seconds for her to get. Like it'd be really quick to get to the TV.
Yeah.
But it would then be 5 seconds for her to crawl out of it. She has to crawl out of it slowly, and then she just sort of stands up, and then goes. Which should be amazing.
Man,
God, why do we come up with such great ideas?
I know, right? Behaviour, you should hire us.
Yeah, Behaviour, come watch this, and we'll be amazing for coming up with ideas.
So remember when we were talking about the twins?
Yeah, remember when we came up with that idea?
Look, okay, so the twins are mechanically interesting,
although we did come up with a killer called Squarehead, and they sort of beat us to
it. Nice. Yeah, so the twins, all in all, for me, they're mechanically interesting, but I agree with you. They need to be stronger, and I don't know how you make them stronger. Right, should we move on?
Well, I was going to say, if you wanted to look at the perks, they're not too bad.
Oh, the perks are good. Should we go through the perks really quick?
Yeah. I don't. Well, the coup de grace is a bit rubbish. That's for those people who don't have the patience to catch up to the survivor, I guess. And that doesn't really make any sense to me. So if you don't know, that's the one where when a gen's completed, I am reading this, you gain a token. Consume 1 token to increase the distance of your next lunge attack. It's like, whatever. If you really cared about that, play Freddy, who I believe has the biggest lunge.
I think the coup de grace would be good for certain styles of play. I think if there was ever a competitive scene for this game, and maybe in a couple of years when they fix some of the bugs, we'll get there.
But this game could be competitive.
It could be competitive if they've obviously got 60 tick servers now. We've got hit validation. There's a lot of reasons why it could be.
Yeah, it's only taken them 4.5 years. Next.
It's true. So oppression, life's been difficult for you, so you'll make it difficult for others. When you damage a generator, up to 3 other random generators also begin regressing. If the affected generator is being repaired, any survivors repairing them receive a difficult skill check. What do you think of that?
I think it's a good idea. I think it's a really good idea. It definitely helps. What would have made that amazing is if you could use that with pop. However, that may have been OP, to be fair.
Can you not use that with pop? Why couldn't you use that with pop?
What I mean with that
you mean the other 3
generators also get pop regression.
Right. And what do you feel about the cooldown?
How long is the cooldown?
80 seconds.
That's fine. It's a good enough time.
Right. Okay.
It gives you that little bit of time back. You say that you got 80 seconds to do that, but you also, how many seconds do you actually save with the regression of the gens?
Yeah, that's true.
That's the main
Plus,
objective, isn't it, as killer, to stop the generators from being done.
And it's not based on hooking. It could have been based on hooking like Pop, but Pop is probably more than 80 seconds because of that.
They increased the time of Pop, didn't? No, they decreased.
Yeah, to give it some more
time.
urgency. I think it's 45 seconds now.
Which is stupid. I don't understand why they even bothered. Why would they even think of that?
It's weird, isn't it?
I don't understand that.
Okay, so Hoarder. You protect what little you have and are perceptive to those rummaging through your stockpiles. Receive a loud noise notification for 4 seconds when survivors interact with the chest or when they pick up an item within 64 meters of your location. And the trial begins with an additional 2 chests in the environment. That's changed. I think when that was they first brought that in, they said that the rarity of items would go down, but then that didn't work, so they removed it. I thought that was a justification for having more chests around the map.
I'm not sure.
That's a weird one. It's the only killer perk that interacts with chests, right? Other than speed changes.
Yeah, but there's also the counter to that, which is the Elodie perk.
But who's taking Hoarder? Who's taking
Is it Appraisal?
Hoarder? Appraisal, yeah.
Yeah, you don't. I mean,
who's like, oh, I don't want survivors rummaging through chests. I mean, it's about giving the killer more information. That's the thing. If you take these 3 perks down to their basics, Coup de Grace is better. It's good for chases. Oppression is about slowing down the game, and Hoarder is about giving more information, which is fine. Like, those are all areas where killers need assistance, really. Yeah. Right. We need to move on. Let's talk about Moris. Let's talk about this will be a short discussion, I think. How do you feel about the Mori change? Which, by the way, for those of you that don't know, it used to be that you could do the animation after hooking someone once. Now you have to hook them at least twice, which means that it only counts when they would have been dead on hook anyway. A much requested change over the last few years. I personally can't believe...
Although the yellow one is still the same, I think, where it means that you can kill the last survivor.
I mean, that's fine. I don't mind that either.
And I think that doesn't matter which... but that's just...
If I ever take that Mori... I mean, I don't take Moris anyway, because I always find that I don't pip whenever I take Moris.
You will now, though, because you'd have to hook the others twice anyway.
That's true, hook events. I like that change. I think the community's been asking for it for ages. I know some people say that it's ruined Moris. I don't... Moris, in my opinion, Moris shouldn't be in the game anyway. I think they're really cool, and I really like them, and I love when I get Mori'd. I think it's really good. I like seeing the animation. But from a competitive standpoint, taking any sort of add-on or offering you can bring with you that just automatically means you win, like tier 3 Myers, for example, perma tier 3 Myers, shouldn't be in the game because it's not competitive. But I think this is a nice change that keeps things competitive without removing that really cool feature. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, it's a tough one, really, because I love the idea of a Mori, because I love seeing people get killed in a different way. I think it's a really good animation. Apart from a couple of them are rubbish, like the Wraith. He just stands there and whacks you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't gone back and redone Mori animations, honestly, because they're so into their aesthetics at the moment.
Yeah.
But anyway, I like the new one. I feel as though, like Pyramid Head, when people are tormented, you can kill someone like that, and you don't have to use the time to take them to the hook. So I still think Moris will be beneficial. Not only that, but you get to see a cool animation, and it gives the survivors a chance to have a little bit of banter and get in on the action.
Yeah.
Like in the photo that Ghostface takes, which, by the way,
I love that.
I think you should keep them.
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
They took a little picture and then I think it'd be a bit more fun that way. But yeah, no, I think Mori should have changed a long time ago, and the same. But I don't understand, because Moris are the meta in terms of kills, but then again, keys and hatch are meta for escaping.
As long as they change.
So I don't know why they haven't done both.
I think they will. I think they'll get rid of the keys. I think they'll get rid of the hatch.
Oh, surprise that they've taken away the killers thing first, by the way.
Oh yeah, classic DBD.
Survivor main devs.
It's so blatant. It's so clear.
Maybe it's because there's more survivors out there than killers, which there has to be, because there's 4 survivors to 1 killer. It's a 4-to-1 ratio.
Nothing that can be done about that. Yeah, no, I'm happy with the Mori changes. I hope that we see keys and hatches get a rework soon, because they're in dire need of it. So
we'll speak about the keys and the hatches next week. But yeah, definitely. I don't think they should be a thing in the game. Yeah. Hatches, I don't think they should be a thing in the game at all.
No. The final thing that I want to talk about today, before we move on to our game to close, is the upcoming reworks to Wraith, Clown, and Freddy. Now,
you're going to have to describe them to me because I couldn't find them anywhere.
So you should have watched the video I did 2 videos ago on Christmas Eve. So okay,
right, so should I watch your video while recording this?
No. It's like 5 minutes, 6 minutes long. Okay, so I'll start with the clown rework because that's the biggest one, and that's coming in the next update. I don't know when that's coming out.
Actually, this is a good opportunity for me to say that I don't know what any of these updates are, but I will say this: the clown, as it is now, before whatever these updates are, is the best the clown's ever been.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic.
But he still needs more work. He still needs more work in my mind.
Are they improved? Well, we'll see. I'll see if I. Yeah. Okay, go on.
We don't know anything. Sorry. The main thing is we don't know anything about these. But I'll just tell you, they have shown us footage because the clown update the rework is coming in the next update. It looks like he's going to have different types of bottles. In the clip we saw, he throws a bottle, it glows orange. He throws another bottle, it turns white, and then it turns pink. So I have no idea what those things are going to do. There's basically there's no information for it, but there are clearly 2 different types of bottles that are being thrown there. The Wraith, again, the Wraith one, we've got basically no information about it other than the phrase true invisibility. So I guess that means when he walks, he won't leave he won't leave the fuzzy space anymore, which is fine. I mean, the Wraith is, some people are really, really good at Wraith, same with Clown, but for the most part, you don't see him, and I think he's one of the scariest killers in my mind.
He is, and also he's one of the fastest base movement as well.
Yeah.
He's in his cloak.
Especially, it's people at rank 1 are able to pull it off, to uncloak from him and get the drop on you and take it and give you a hit. That's great. But giving him
pallets and loops and stuff,
so I think that's just going to be, the Clown is getting a complete feature rework, but I think the Wraith is just getting some fine tuning to the way that his mechanics work. And Freddy is the best killer in the game at the minute in terms of kill stats. Freddy is they've just said they're going to be addressing that. I think that's just going to be an add-on and again tuning paths. They are going to be redoing all of the add-ons for all 3 of these killers, including, I think there's one more. I think they said they're going to revisit the Blight's add-ons. But yeah,
that's strange because the Blight's add-ons are really good.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that? I mean, I know that you obviously both like Freddy.
I'm really interested to hear about the Clown. It might be quite good.
Same with Wraith. I just hope Wraith gets played more. I hope Freddy doesn't get too much of a nerf because I love playing against Freddy. I hate playing against Freddy because I always die, but I like playing as Freddy.
The only thing that Freddy needs, and that's speaking as pretty much a Freddy-ish main, I've got like 4 or 5 mains, is, well, not to slow him down, but just to cut his lunge slightly. I think his lunge is way too big. That's coming from someone who plays as him a lot and gets all these hits, and I'm going Freddy lunge
now,
every time.
People will argue that every killer has the same lunge. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true either, but that's what people say. That's what people have said to me whenever I've spoken about it.
In theory, I'm trying to think who else, but Pyramid Head should have the biggest lunge because he's got some fat off sword that and how long is that?
That's true.
So if they're going to do it accurately, then yeah, Freddy would have quite a big lunge.
Well, I wonder whether it feels like he's got a bigger lunge because Freddy's one of the fastest killers, right? So I feel like when he swipes, maybe his velocity is just higher, and that makes it feel like it's a bigger lunge.
Nah.
Okay, fair enough.
Nah, honestly, playing as him and against him, he's got a massive lunge, and his lunge is right.
Well, I'm happy.
It's the biggest of all killers, in my opinion.
I'm happy for all of those. Freddy definitely's been knocked down a little bit. When are they going to talk about Spirit getting a nerf? Come on. I'm happy to see Wraith and Clown getting better, being made better.
I will say this. I kind of have respect for these players, but someone who is really good at the nurse, the amount of times I go into it now and get down straight away, and I just want to DC because it's not fun. Yeah, I will say this now. Recently, the nurse is the most unfun killer to play against because if people are good at her, then they are so good that you can't do anything.
Right.
I mean, obviously, that comes to my ability as well. But as a rough rank 1 player,
I encounter nurse so infrequently. I mean, to be fair, yesterday I had 3 nurses in a row, but I encountered the nurse so infrequently that I don't mind playing against good nurses. Because I'm like, okay, you're a good nurse. You've played nurse for 2,000, 3,000 hours. I had a really good nurse in my chat the other day. He downed me and then joined chat. And I was just like, look, there's nothing. I thought it was wall hacking at first. That's how good they were at nurse. Yeah. But they just knew exactly where survivors would be running to, where to predict, and knew their maps inside and out. And high skill, high risk play should be rewarded. So I don't mind that.
Yeah.
That is all.
It's just not. I don't find it fun. That's the only one. I respect good killers. I had a few good Spirit games that I really enjoyed. But the thing is, it only works. It only works if you have good teammates. Because while you're being chased, if they're not working on the gens, then you can't win.
That's true.
Because they're so That's
true.
They're so good. But I agree. I believe Spirit needs a slight nerf.
Okay, so I'm gonna have some music playing here. Welcome to Name That Perk. It's a game where we come up with. I've got a list of perk descriptions in front of me, and Jack has to name that perk. Hey, that's why it's called that. You don't just sing it. I'll have music playing.
That was kind of I thought that, but then that was your cue to put music in.
So I'm gonna go through 3 survivor perks and 3 killer perks, and you have to name what those perks are. So, survivor perk number 1. When retrieving an item from a chest, there is a 100% chance that an add-on of very rare rarity or lower will be attached to it. These are hard ones this week. These are hard ones this week.
These are because they're so arbitrary. No one uses them. It's an ace perk. Up the ante.
One more guess.
It's an ace perk.
I had to sneeze. You have until I sneeze to answer.
Do it.
Oh, give me a bright light. Bright light. It's not happening. It's not coming.
I can't.
Wait, it's not coming. It's going to be so unsatisfying. Okay, it's not coming. The answer is ace in the hole.
Damn.
You had the ace. You had the kill, the survivor, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now perk number 2. When the killer breaks a pallet or breakable wall or damages a generator, their aura is revealed to you for 5 seconds.
Oh, well, that's Feng Min, and that is alert.
Hey, well done. And finally, you see the auras of generators within 32 meters. Can you name the survivor?
It's between 2, isn't it?
Well, one of them isn't a survivor. One of them's just one you get in the blood web.
Yeah,
and one of them is a survivor.
The one is survivor.
The question is this deja vu or is it not deja vu?
It's not. No, it's not.
Okay, why is it not deja vu?
Because deja vu shows 3 generators that are close to each other.
Okay. So what is it?
It's not Desperate Measures. That's the item 1. My God, it doesn't matter what this perk is because no one uses it. Why would they use it?
That could be new to the game.
Deja vu.
It's visionary. Felix perk.
I wouldn't have got that. Yeah, I know it's Felix.
Right, so you've only got one out of 3 so far. That's pretty bad going.
Cheers.
You're welcome. Right, killer perks. Killer perk number 1. Reveals dying survivors' auras when standing within 36 meters. Hey, well done. Killer perk.
See, I play killer more than I do survivor.
Killer perk number 2. The duration of pallet stuns is reduced by 50%.
Enduring.
Yeah, and finally, survivors' grunts of pain are 50% louder and regular breathing is 25% louder.
Strider.
Hey, 3 out of 3. Congratulations.
And those are all arbitrary as well.
4 out of a potential 6. Good job. Any closing thoughts?
I'm looking forward to bringing this back again. It means it actually gives me more motivation to play the game as well, so I can learn a bit more, get better, have more stories to tell.
Right, where can people
catch us live at twitch.tv/Jakstalock.
No longer Jakstalocky, now just Jakstalock.
Subscribe to my YouTube, please, because I only have 18.
Right, you can find me at twitch.tv/Pebsie. I stream on Mondays and Tuesdays and Thursdays and Sundays. Monday, Tuesday at 4 p.m, Thursdays at 8 p.m, and Sundays at 10 a.m. That's it.
Stream when?
Feel like it.
Which is the best way to be sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, goodbye. See you later.
Have a good evening.
Let's walk out of this building we're in. Oh.
We will see you next week.
Yes. Goodbye.
Ta-ta.